In today's video, traders, I'm gonna give you guys some tips that would have really helped me out if I was just getting started trading in 2020. I've got some ideas, I've got some things for you to consider in your own trading to improve the likelihood of you becoming a profitable and successful Forex trader. The goal with this is to give you tips that if I had heard and actually listened to when I was a new trader, it would have made the process much easier, much more fluid than it was in my actual scenario. Today, you're hopefully gonna learn from some of the mistakes and experiences that I have had in my own trading journey. So what I've done is I've built a short list here on a piece of paper in front of me of things that really would have made a big difference and things that I hope that you'll at least consider doing in your 2020 trading journey and your goal of becoming a profitable trader. A lot of people who watch this channel, obviously they want to improve as a trader. And in 2020, there's a lot of people who are optimistic and excited, but I have some ideas that might really actually help you get towards that goal of being profitable. The first major tip that I have in terms of becoming a more successful or even a profitable trader is you should find an online community that is actually beneficial to you. Now, there's a lot of different forums and places for people to chat in terms of Forex, but what I found personally is that a lot of them are kind of noisy and there's a lot of people spamming and trying to sell you stuff. So personally, that was kind of hard to find. That's actually why one of the reasons that I have the VIP service I offer. It's basically a club for traders and people can join and chat with other people who are either successful or either learning more about the markets and sharing ideas and technical analysis with each other. That is something that I offer. You can check that out in the link down below in the description. Otherwise, there are still some other places that you can find that, but very, very important that going into the new year or just going into an effective trading journey, you find some actual people to surround yourself that actually are beneficial to you. Now, this concept of surrounding yourself with winners or people that are successful or even more successful than yourself is not something that I came up with. This is just a very, very, good piece of advice that I received from people is don't surround yourself with people who are going to pull you down or tell you that you can't do something or they cast, blame or doubt or, bad things your way. Surround yourself with like-minded people who are in fact working to better themselves and they're actually working towards their dreams and goals rather than complaining about things and, that sort of thing. Finding a good community made an entire difference for me when I started connecting with other traders that had a similar mindset and they weren't looking for the easy answers and they were looking to actually learn the craft of trading. That helped me tremendously in my own trading journey. Now, the next thing that I'm going to ask you to do might sound a little bit weird. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is don't go following a bunch of signals. And you might actually be like, well, Nick, you actually have a signal service. Why would you tell people not to follow signals? Well, I'll tell you why. There's a difference between seeing what other traders are doing and getting some sort of educational and informative kind of benefit from doing that. And there's a very big difference from that and from just blindly following. Most new traders that hear signals and they're, it's some guy or girl or guru that's claiming they know very well how to trade the markets. They go and they just blindly follow this sort of service that's being offered and they buy whatever the person is selling or buy whatever the person is buying or sell whatever the person is selling. And they actually don't get much value out of this. What this does is it encourages you not to do anything. It encourages you to be very lazy as a trader and just to copy what other people are saying without any kind of further thought or educational value. The difference from that sort of service and what I personally offer in my own business is the idea that with my trading alerts, it's not meant to be copied blindly. I share my actual analysis. I go into detail about why I'm buying what I'm buying or selling, and you can make the decision yourself whether or not you like the trade, if you agree, if you want to make your own trade, that sort of thing. My biggest thing with this is that a lot of times signal providers are just encouraging you to blindly copy something and they want you to sign up with their preferred broker so that they get affiliates, that sort of thing. And they're not really looking to share any sort of educational value to the person following the alert. Now, there's a huge benefit to finding someone who shares trades and trade alerts with proper analysis and the reasoning why behind each trade. That can be very, very beneficial to a trader. But again, most people are looking for those big, glamorous, shiny object signal providers that tell you they've got a 90% win rate and that they're going to double your account in a week, right? That is nonsense, and that is not going to be a good, effective route in your trading journey. In fact, if you're like me and you fall for that sort of thing in the past, you'll know that it's very quickly not as it seems, and in fact, it just costs you a pretty penny trying to follow what other people are saying. Trusting your own analysis in 2020 is going to make the difference of whether or not, in my opinion, you become a successful successful trader or a losing trader. Losing traders do not trust their analysis. They have so much doubt in everything that they do. They cannot make any sort of decisive plays, and they don't trust their trading plan. And the reason why, in my opinion, is because a lot of times they haven't spent any time back testing. They have no structure or strategy to what they're doing. They're just blindly entering and exiting the market or copying signal providers and not genuinely looking at what they're doing. Signal providers, a lot of times, for the most part, they're just sending you a buy or sell alert with nothing else. The entire purpose of trading and being active with your money, in my opinion, is to actually take hold of your investments, to understand what you're doing, and to understand the operations underneath the hood, if you will. If you're just following a signal provider blindly, you don't get to understand really what's going on, what's the mindset, unless they're sharing detailed analysis, as I do in my own group, and some other traders do as well. Another big problem with following somebody's signals is that what if that person goes, missing, or they disappear, or they no longer offer the service? Suddenly, not only did you learn nothing, but now you have no way to even follow a trader, even if that person was profitable and they were actually a great service provider. Well, now they've actually gone and now you have nothing, right? So learning yourself and finding ways to actually trust your own analysis is very, very key in long-term success when it comes to trading Forex. My next big tip for 2020 is do not go buying expensive courses. My channel and a couple other great channels on YouTube share free content for you to learn from. If you check out the playlist section on my channel, I've actually got a few free courses. You don't have to pay a dime. Those courses are $0 and 0 cents for you to check out and hopefully get some value out of in terms of trading Forex. Now, I know a lot of times people will say, well, if you have value, you should be able to put a price tag on it. And I do agree. I do have products and services that I sell. I also sell software tools for traders. But my big thing is that when it comes to education and sharing information, I'm happy to share that. And although it may, I probably could make money selling a course, my purpose with that is to share information that, would have really helped me in my own trading journey. But also, I want to make it available to anybody who is just getting into this. I don't think you need to have a massive expensive course just to start learning about trading effectively. That's why I have this YouTube channel, and we have a great community here on YouTube, is because there's a lot of people supporting, giving ideas, giving feedback on the content that we are producing here. My next big tip is to find genuine influencers in the trading space. Now, it's not as easy as it seems. Anybody who's showing a bunch of massive gains on their account and not really explaining why or what happened, that's not the person you should be looking at. You should be looking at the people who do not flash fancy cars and mansions all the time on their channel, but rather people who are sharing genuine value and that have clearly showed that they have a capacity to trade themselves. One of those components being a track record. I do share a track record. You can check it out on my website, tradernickfx.com. I believe that if you're going to be talking about trading, you should be able to show some signs that you're actually trading and that you know what you're doing. Now, there's a big difference between showing that you are profitable and being somebody who claims to make zillions all the time and won't show anything, right? So to me, finding a reasonable return on investment and somebody who's actually entering and exiting the market is very important in finding a genuine influence. You want to make sure that the person that you are listening to has skin in the game and are actually trading. Trading is a passion of mine, and there's a lot of other great influencers out there. You just have to be a little bit careful about who you're looking at. Don't trust anybody, not even me. You should not be trusting somebody on the internet just because they say something. You should not take it as fact. You should take what they're saying with a grain of salt and go test it yourself. Go see if it is actual fact what they're saying, or if they're just saying it, right? Because a lot of times people can say whatever they want on social media without backing it up. Myself included. If you guys are watching my content or you're watching somebody else, it doesn't matter. You should be testing the things that they're saying because a lot of times people are saying things to just get you to buy something. On this channel, I do share a ton of stuff for free, and you don't have to pay me anything to just get some sort of value. And I think that that's how it should be. Look for other people who are doing that. I'm not the only one that does that sort of thing, but it definitely is not easy to find genuine value providers. The next big thing that I have that really made a difference for me is go back test strategies. So many people are always looking for that perfect strategy, but they don't spend any amount of time themselves back testing it and testing things themselves. We just got done talking about how important it is to test what people are saying. Well, you should be testing what you're thinking even, right? So if you like the idea of trading double tops that break underneath a certain moving average or whatever, right? If you have a thesis about the market, go test it. This should be the year of testing for you, especially if you are not profitable. Do not be trading a strategy, in my opinion, until you've tested it thoroughly and it's comfortable to you. The next big one I've got is start journaling your trading, start journaling your thoughts. I've got a cool little, I don't know if you can see it, but it says Trader Nick FX on my notebook here. My girlfriend got this for me. And definitely a lot of value in sharing with yourself, right? Taking a pen, taking a pencil, writing down your thoughts about your trades, writing out how your trades played out, what you were thinking, did you stick to your plan? All of that is so powerful in self-reflection of your own trading. And it really can, you can start looking through the pages of your notebook and see where you've gone wrong and where you've gone right, and start picking out things that are really going to make a difference for you. While we're on that topic, having a trading plan physically written out is a fantastic way to stick to your plan. If you write it out and you kind of consult with your own trading plan as you're going along, you're more likely, in my opinion, to stick to your plan. Most traders, one of their biggest problems in becoming successful is they cannot mentally or psychologically stick to a plan. You've probably heard it a million times, but treating your trading like it's a business really will make the difference. I run a business online. I also have software tools that I sell, that sort of thing. And I can tell you that there's a lot of similarities between trading and business, and they kind of cross over in a lot of ways. Both take discipline. Most people fail at them, and it's very easy to give up because things don't come instantly. There's not a lot of instant gratification in trading or in business. And so you have to accept that you're going to be taking your capital, you're going to be risking it, you might lose along the way, you might pay the market to learn lessons, but you need to be treating your trading like a business, in my opinion, to actually have long-term success at it. And finally, I want to talk about setting reasonable goals in 2020. A lot of times people come into the new year with this, and I've seen this for a couple of years now. As I've been trading Forex for a while, people are always coming into the market on the new year saying that this is the year I'm going to change my life. This is the year that I'm going to be, a millionaire Forex trader. They're going to write stories in the news about me, and, it's going to be a big deal. Sorry, my phone rang. They're going to write stories in the news about me, and it's going to be a huge, deal, and I'm going to be a massively profitable trader. But I want you guys to consider, write out some reasonable goals for 2020. And what do I mean by reasonable? I mean, don't look to make money from Forex first. Before you're making money in the currency market, your number one goal, in my opinion, and my experience that made the big difference, was I want to learn about the markets. I don't want to necessarily make a bunch of money. The first thing I want to do is just understand, what am I doing? I want to study strategies and see in the market what tends to happen and what tends to not happen, and study gold and study the euro and see how do those particular markets behave. Set some realistic goals. For example, a realistic goal that might be something that you look into, for example, is I want to study momentum in the gold market on the 4-hour time frame. What does that look like, and how can I build a strategy around this? That is a goal. Start to finish, starting and finishing a strategy on gold on the 4-hour chart. That could be a goal for whoever is interested in trading gold. There might be something for the pound, there might be the euro. Setting those smaller, more realistic goals rather than just saying, in 2020 I want to be a millionaire trader, is going to take you a lot further, because you can hit those milestones a lot easier. For starters, I want to make $5 a week in my trading. Sounds hard, or sounds easy enough, but it can be very difficult for people who are not disciplined yet. And I want to focus on getting my discipline right in 2020. Those are the sorts of goals that you can hit in a reasonable kind of fashion, and they're going to make huge differences in your actual success in the markets.